Hello, friends. I, 26 male, found out my fiance, 27 female, possibly gave a ripper a woodwork job at her bachelorette party. I deleted my earlier post because I was so messed up about it at the time. I realized it wasn't healthy to have a conversation about it yet. I made that post right after the guy called me in an attempt to cope, but it didn't work. My thoughts were getting too dark, and I needed to completely separate myself from the situation for safety. After holding myself up at my parents' place and surrounding myself with people I could trust, my head is back on straight, and I'll fill in those who asked for an update. A quick recap for those who didn't see my original post. I will refer to my fiance as Jane. One of the bridesmaids' husbands contacted me and told me he had seen something that made him suspect Jane had been intimate with a ripper at her bachelorette party. Any intimacy or romantic kissing outside that relationship was a complete deal breaker that was established when the relationship had begun. When I asked him for details, he indicated a job with your hand in a roundabout way. When I asked if he could be mistaken or misinterpreting a text or overheard a conversation, he kept insisting he was 100% sure. I personally know the bridesmaid. I think she was feeling guilty and she was using her husband as some sort of proxy informant to keep my girlfriend from coming after her when I confronted her. When I got off the phone with the guy, I was so destroyed about it, I just shut down. I had just had my own sort of non-bachelor party at home playing WoW, classic with some friends. Don't know what WoW is. World of Warcraft, World of Witchcraft, not too sure. So to hear this news after such a wonderful day hit extra hard. My cousin, who has been friends with Jane since childhood, went to the party with her, so I decided to try and calm down and wait until the next day to ask her if she saw anything. At this point, I was still hoping that this was some sort of misunderstanding or mean prank. Jane did not live with me, and she was planning on staying the night at her parents' home, so I knew she wouldn't show up unannounced. I basically laid in bed all night, staring at the dark ceiling, listening to the doors and Opeth, trying not to lose my mind. I waited until noon the next day to call my cousin. I wasn't able to get through the first 5 times I called. Oh my, red flags. Red alarms going off like crazy now. So when I suspected she was avoiding me, I went over to my parents' place and used my dad's office line. When she finally answered the phone and realized it was me, the somber tone in the voice of a normally annoying, upbeat 23-year-old party girl pretty much told me everything I needed. Me. Oh, should we try to do some voiceover? Me. I heard things got a little crazier than usual last night.
Yeah.
I think you already know why I'm calling you, don't you?
Yes.
Obviously holding back tears at that point. Basically, long and weeping cousin story short. I found out Jane did indeed give a ripper a job using her hands, along with several other women, some of whom are in long-term relationships or married. That, then they decided to leave the house they were at and drive intoxicated to the Rip Club afterwards, where Jane and a few other women had private dances. My cousin tried to argue that this doesn't mean Jane doesn't love me, and it was just meaningless fun that just got out of hand. This friggin' infuriated me. I didn't shout at her, but I told her if that's what she thinks, she has no idea what love actually is. Yeah, I mean, if you love someone, you wouldn't do that to them. Very confused why people decide to get married if they're gonna do this during their bachelor party or bachelorette party. At this point, I informed my parents and brothers what was going on, and of course, my mother starts crying. Another person hurt by this stupid BS. I spent the rest of the day laying in bed at my parents' house, staring at the ceiling, ignoring Jane's calls and texts. I know some people have more open relationships and can get past this stuff, but I'm just not that guy. I'm monogamous all the way to the center. I eventually canceled everything and lost a bunch of deposits. I know it's a bitch move, but I broke up with Jane over text. Oh, yee. I decided it was just best to walk away clean, no serious confrontation. To each their own, I guess. There was nothing to gain by shouting, arguing, making accusations, or calling her names. When people are cornered like this when they do something wrong, they can lash out, and I didn't want to have the woman I was about to marry say horrible shit to me in some sort of defense of her behavior. I am freaking heartbroken and feel betrayed, and that kind of shit isn't going to help. I just sent her a text explaining I know what she did. I explained I don't want revenge. I'm not interested in humiliating her or her friends and spreading it around, but it is a sure sign that we aren't right for each other, and it is over with no possibility of reconciliation. I waited until she responded once to make sure she got the text and have blocked her on my phone and all of social media. I gave the crap she had at my place to my cousin to give back to her, and I haven't heard anything from her or her family since. I still feel like hammered dog shit, but I am doing better as far as not feeling like a black hole is sucking me inside out. But this wasn't like the breakups I had in high school and college. Well, yeah, you were engaged to her, you planned on marrying her, you're supposed to be forever person. Something broke inside me this time that can't be repaired like before. My confidence is completely destroyed in my body now. I keep thinking what it was about the Ripper guy that is so incredible that he could make a seemingly faithful woman cheat and potentially throw away everything. Was it bigger muscles, bigger eggplant, better looks, better personality? I'm not a supermodel, but I'm decent. I don't act like a bitch or a pussy. Or am I just stupid? I was 100% sure of this girl, yet I got cheated on right before our wedding. This kind of crap really takes a man's soul and grinds it up, eats it, and shits it back out. Oh my. Oh, poor you. Oh. Okay, there is an update. Someone from her camp finally contacted me. Her stepdad called me tonight to ask what was going on and if there's any way to fix things. I didn't give him any details. I just explained that Jane stepped outside the bounds of forgivable behavior in our relationship, and there's absolutely no way to salvage things. And any time spent trying by any party is time wasted that would be better spent moving on. When I said that, I could tell he understood what it meant and basically what happened. He's a pretty laid back, old school Hispanic dude. Said he's sorry things didn't work out and wished me well. Wasn't super close with the guy, but I will miss hanging out in his garage shooting the shit about motorcycles and stuff. Update 2. I just got done talking to Bridesmaid's husband, again, who first called me and let me know what was going on. I don't know him, but I am a friendly acquaintance with his wife. Apparently, what happened is his wife became extremely uncomfortable when the sum of women started grabbing and oh my word. Uh when some of the women started doing stuff on the Ripper's eggplant and she left and went home. That's a woman right there. Good job. When he asked her why she came home early, she got upset and spilled the beans. More than likely to protect her own marriage if it got out, I would guess. Anyways, actually, I think she's just an honest woman who has morals, a moral compass, and is very comfortable with being honest with her husband. That seems like a very, very healthy relationship. Anyway, dude made a moral call and decided the husbands and boyfriends of the woman had a right to know how their significant others were acting when they weren't around. And he made his wife give him all the contact info she had. Seriously, I owe this guy so much. Had I found out about this a few years down the line, the end of the relationship would have been so much worse. His wife still won't talk to me, but it doesn't matter now. I told the dude when things settle down, I'm going to take him out and buy him every beer in the bar. Period. As you should. Had this dude not had the moral fortitude to make the call, I may have never known. He really, really did save you. Like, at least some people have moral compass, right? At least he saved you. Okay, there's a third and apparently final update. Two, I found out my fiance possibly gave a Ripper a job with her hands at her bachelorette party. It's been 10 days since I received the call that ended this relationship. I'm almost back to normal, although I can't quite shake a bit of malaise. I don't know that word. Sorry, I'm totally butchering it. Thankfully, I had a few days worth of PTO, paid time off, to burn while I worked past this crap. I already scheduled my 2 weeks vacation this year for the wedding, but since it's canceled, I'll just spend it with the family and have very extended Christmas with them. Outside, a few texts from Jane to my mother when things first blew up, her mother calling the next day after I talked to Jane's stepfather. I haven't heard a peep from the other clans since. Jane's mom tried to act as a mediator between us, but I shut that shit down and told her it is not possible. She can be a bit pushy, but thankfully she realized it wasn't wise to push this time. I finally got to talk to the bridesmaid whose husband called me. She didn't offer any more details, and I didn't care to ask for any more by the time I talked to her. She just called me when she felt comfortable enough to wish me well and tell me she was sorry for what happened. She's a very nice lady, and I feel bad for her because she works with quite a few of those women, and I don't envy how they are going to treat her at work. I asked her, and thankfully, none of them have any managerial authority over her, but it still sucks to be ostracized. As far as any of the other women, I haven't heard a thing. You know what? I wouldn't want to hear from Trash either. And my cousin has done a vanishing act. My mom took care of all the wedding invitations as she was the one who helped send them all out. I asked her to just tell everyone that Jane and I had a change of heart about getting married and decided to put things off for the time being. Frankly, I'm fucking embarrassed about what happened and don't really want to be known among the family and friends and people in town as the guy whose ex fiance jacked off and possibly screwed a Ripper right before their wedding. I'm sure it will eventually get around, but if I let it fade like this, it will be more of a crazy rumor than confirmed fact for most people. I really just want to walk away with as little drama as possible and move on with my life. I've asked my mother to text Jane's mom to get the engagement ring back. As you should. Hopefully, she won't give me any trouble as they were expensive, and a buddy of mine is willing to buy the ring set for exactly what I paid for them for his wedding in a few months. I told him he'd better not tell his girlfriend where he got them, just in case she's worried my ex was wearing the ring when she was handling, oh my, the Ripper's joystick. I lost thousands in deposits for the venue. DJ, florist, catering, security, plane tickets, honeymoon suite, etc., etc., etc. I'm hoping I can recoup a little money by selling the rings. Anyway, I decided to stay away from long term relationships for an indefinite amount of time. This experience has made me very gun shy about love and relationships and all that mess. People have sent me all kinds of encouraging messages claiming I'll eventually find the one. I'm doing my best not to be overly pessimistic, but when looking at the divorce rates and all the crazy conflicts between men and women these days, I'm starting to think the chances for anyone to do that are getting lower with each passing year. I'm not the kind of guy who gets over stuff like this by running out and dating some other woman to sport hump right afterwards. Sport hump. So I think I'll just stay single for now and focus on my passions and work. Anyway, thanks to everyone who gave encouragement. If anyone else is going through something heartbreaking like this, I highly recommend you stay with family or close friends you have a good relationship with. I can't overstate how much this has helped, especially if you're a guy. Men don't really maintain a circle of support for stuff like this, like many women do. And you can find yourself isolated and descending further into a bad place without positive reinforcement around you. I was able to lay on my childhood bed, in my childhood room, in my childhood home, surrounded by good memories. Having my mom come in and bring me tea and food and say sweet, encouraging things about how much she loved me and how proud she was of me. I was able to shit talk with my dad, my brothers, to distract myself. It helped a lot. Best of luck, everyone. Your family sounds so sweet. And the fact that you had a safe place to go back to and just be able to be freely vulnerable and have that support system to back you up, I'm so happy for you. And people do say that there is the one out there, and I truly feel that, but the less you think about it and the less you actively try to find the one, I'm sure someday it will magically appear and it will happen for you. So, best of luck to you as well.
Okay, we've got one more for you. Fiance, 27 female, went too far at a bachelorette party. I, 28 male, am ready to call it off, and people are telling me not to due to the extenuating circumstances. Interesting. I love how this is from male POVs. You don't see a lot of that. All right, here's the original post. I've been with my fiance for going on 4 years. We got engaged a little over a year ago, and we're going to put a rush on the wedding because her mother was sick. Her mom had smoked for a long time, quit, picked it back up, and then developed cancer. Oh. To look at her mom, you'd never suspect she was a smoker, but had picked up the habit. Her mother grew too ill for a wedding, so the idea of putting one together quickly faded, and instead, a couple of months ago, she passed. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. My fiance was devastated to lose her mom at such a young age. I offered to postpone the wedding, but she really wanted to move forward with it and took to planning. We agreed that we weren't too interested in bachelorette parties, and instead decided we'd do something low key. Her maid of honor approached me about doing something more substantive for fiance as she lost her mom not too long ago. I thought it was a good idea. I arranged for dinner, drinks, and fun with my groomsmen. The best man, my brother, and my best friend booked a steakhouse and then arranged for drinks at a nice place afterward. They bought me a nice cigar for the lounge, and we had a tremendous time. Fiance was texting me, and then her phone died. She was out incredibly late. Her friends said they packed it in around 5 a.m. and then slept most of the morning and had a late lunch rather than brunch. When she got home, she was still hungover and basically laid in bed and drank Gatorade instead of doing anything. The Saturday and Sunday were pretty much a write off. She was that hungover. I asked her about it, and she kept saying she pretty much has no recollection after a certain point. Yikes. Her friends said something similar. Very sus that they have the exact same story or alibi. And then that she was so obliterated after like 3 a.m. that they carried her to a friend's brother's bar where they hung out while my fiance sipped booze while splayed in a chair. Things were fine until last night when she asked me to find something on her phone. I noticed a message came through saying my name, so yes, I snooped. It said, I hope, my real name, doesn't find out. Oh, oh boy. I scrolled up, and it's a nightmare. This afternoon, my fiance texts her maid of honor saying that she hasn't been that drunk in a long time, and her friend follows up with, I know, and a series of photos. My wife and her friends in a room, most of them women, are topless, including my fiance, and there's a ripper. Fiance responds, oh God, can we not? And another photo follows with the ripper kissing her neck while her friends are topless, holding booze, and obviously acting poorly. Fiance texts, I feel bad because my real name had such a tame night. He's such a good boy, and I hope he doesn't find out. That's when maid of honor responds, I also hope my real name doesn't find out. And by this point has added, he'd leave you. During their night out, someone must have used her phone to take photos to commemorate her little dalliance because there must have been another half dozen photos on her phone. The worst being
what looks like my topless fiance laying on the bed with her friends around her and a naked Ripper smelling her fingers. I was horrified. Ooh. Ew. I didn't know what to do and didn't want to come out and say I snooped, so I tried to get her to talk about it in the evening. I told her about our evening. She deflected. She said she was drunk and that she never needs to be drunk again. Then says something about how she's not at all jealous of her single friends and can't wait to get married. Ooh, cringe. Knowing what you know and then her saying that is so cringe. We're getting married in 4 weeks. I couldn't take it and I told her I knew. She freaked out and at first got mad and said I snooped, but then realized the gravity of the situation. Oh, she's like, oh, gaslighting's not going to work here. She began to apologize and hid behind being drunk. You know what? What is that saying? It's like a drunken man's word is a sober man's truth. So I hope people realize that that's no longer a good excuse. Anyways, I didn't accept that and she started crying. I went to another room to cool off, and I guess she texted her friend because I received a flurry of texts telling me that it was a mistake and nothing happened. After a few hours of arguing, fiance tells me that they went to someone's house where they all got obliterated and a Ripper arrived. They decided to take their tops off and have fun. I mean, they could have equal amount of fun with their tops off, but okay. The Ripper did his thing and kissed my fiance's neck and chest and attempted to touch her intimately, but she stopped him. They tipped him and he left. I didn't handle it well and basically said that it didn't really matter at the end of the day and that the wedding was off. She looked stunned. Don't know why, but okay. I threw some clothes into a bag and told her to leave. To my surprise, she left. Her maid of honor texted me that I'm an asshole, and I replied asking how much of the money I contributed towards their night went to a Ripper putting the moves on my fiance. I haven't heard from her since. I took the day off work and had to turn my phone off. My fiance has texted every 3 to 4 minutes. Her father called and texted and sent me a long email. Email, okay. I checked my phone again about 6 minutes ago and it's non-stop text from a bunch of people. No one on my side of the family knows. My fiance is saying she'll do anything. She wants to come home and that she's sorry. Her father texted me again to please call him, and her friends added me to a WhatsApp group that basically outlines the whole night, their indiscretion, and is telling me that she's sorry. They're sorry, that she was too drunk, and that I'm an asshole for not talking to them. You don't owe them anything. I know I eventually have to say something. I don't know what to say or to whom. I don't even know how to handle this. Not in a million years would I have ever thought my fiance would do something like this. She's the most stable, earnest, nice, and straightforward person ever. I don't understand it, and I don't know what to do here. Oh my word. All right, here's the update. I'm losing my mind. I posted Friday about what happened previously. I will include the original content for people to read below. I need perspective and people's opinion on where to go from here. The whole wedding is fractured. My opinion, I mean, these ladies could have had fun with their tops on, and having a Ripper is fine, just with boundaries too, right? If you feel like that crossed the line for you, which in my opinion, it 100% did, it's one thing if that happened and your fiance told you about it. It's another thing that she tried to hide it, and then all of her trashy friends also tried to corroborate what happened, right? I would call the thing off, but let's see what happened. After I posted my thread, I got a lot of great advice and suggestions. At around 5 something, I was hungry and went out to grab some dinner and came home. I got home and my future father in law was in the parking lot. He saw me and asked to talk. He brought a cigar and beer, so we chatted. He had no idea what happened and wanted to hear it from me. I told him the whole thing but refused to show him pictures. By this point, I had a lot of photos and they were pretty much rough. My father in law drank a beer left me the rest, and I ate dinner and smoked. He said he'd call later, so I turned my phone on. I had dozens and dozens of calls, maybe 100 plus texts and WhatsApp messages, Facebook messages, and emails. Holy. I sifted through them through dinner and finally got an email from my future father in law. Short and to the point. His daughter is sorry, she's a horrible mess, and is going to stay with him. He's disappointed in her, her friends, and the situation, to take time, but please consider forgiving her. Why? Why should you? You don't owe her anything. Right around 10, two of the bridesmaids show up. They're knocking at the door and they want to talk. I let them in and we chat. They immediately start pointing finger at the maid of honor, that she was the person that planned this and that they thought they were going to just have a girls' night out. The toplessness was a joke. How is that funny? Okay. The toplessness was a joke on the girls out, and they didn't know that a ripper was coming. They had apparently had something to eat, drank a ton, went to one of the other bridesmaids' house, and were getting changed to go to a club and were all wasted. They confirmed that my fiance was by far the drunkest, and both confirmed that the ripper did indeed touch her below the belt. That's a no from me. Fiance was obliterated drunk and did verbally stop him after he touched her there. After that, people got uncomfortable. The Ripper was totally naked. Ah! And they left. Oh, wow. My fiance sobered up somewhat after water and some time between drinks and then immediately began boozing again at the bar club, which is when they plunked her in the chair. The bridesmaids left at around 11, and I thanked them for telling me the truth. They felt that my fiance had been too drunk to do much and that they were all surprised the Ripper showed up. They all said it was the maid of honor who organized this and asked me to just talk with my fiance. I wasn't in the mood, but texted her not to engage my parents. I didn't want them involved with this and that she should just keep them out of it and we talk. That opened the gate, and she texted me on and off most of the night. I finally agreed to meet her the next morning. It was awkward. Neither of us knew exactly what to say. She was crying and wanted a hug. We sat down, and she basically apologized for everything. She took responsibility and said that she was sorry for what happened. She agreed that she was too drunk, should have excused herself or stopped drinking, and didn't know a Ripper would be coming. She said that everyone was topless, and she explained that there was some dancing. The Ripper did his show and then pushed her on the bed and inserted. Okay. She said no. He quickly removed it, and no one knew what to do. Yikes, that sounds. Is that part of the Ripper's job? Like, you guys should report that. That sounds not right. Anyways, maid of honor danced with him a bit more. Then their time was up and he left. I asked about the photos, and maid of honor and another bridesmaids took photos. The maid of honor took the finger sniffing photo. I asked who, ew. I asked who else has photos of the event, and she didn't know, but hopes maid of honor doesn't use them for any sort of revenge. Why does it sound like the maid of honor is plotting something? Okay, I told her I understood, but was hurt and horrified. She indicated that she talked to her father and then her maid of honor, who basically turned on fiance and said she did her a favor. They aren't talking, and as a gesture, fiance will remove her from the wedding and will just have an off balance of people in the wedding party. She hadn't slept, so after a while, she went to go sleep, and I went and ran errands. We basically kept to ourselves on Saturday. On Sunday, she made me breakfast and crawled into bed with me. I had to be clear that I'm still really upset and told her I'm hurt, I'm disappointed, I'm not just over it. She said that she understood, but wouldn't let this come between us. I'm starting to feel bad that I'm not somehow over it, and I'm not sure if I should just drop this whole thing. In the past, my fiance has been a solid person. She's not the kind to get drunk or would have ever done something like this. I have a business trip coming up shortly that she is slated to travel with me for. She's packing her bags and looking to go. I'm not sure what to do. To recap: 1. She's completely and unreservedly apologized. 2, she is removing maid of honor from the wedding. 3, her friends and family thinks this indiscretion is a one-off and to work through it. 4, she should still come on the business trip I'm going to go to. I need perspective. I feel like a whirlwind has knocked me back and I'm not sure what to do. Yikes, this is a toughie. I feel like the maid of honor almost encouraged this infidelity to try and break you guys up. I think, first of all, a professional dancer, are they allowed to do that? Like, that seems without consent, too. That seems really not part of his job duties. I think the girls should definitely report him. Secondly, I think your fiance had time to tell you what happened. If really what happened was completely innocent, I think it would have been better if she was just honest with you. Under these circumstances, if you still intend and want to give her another chance, I would postpone the wedding. I don't think it's the right situation to be committing to your forever to. That's just my opinion. I hope that helps. And I hope, you figure this out. Best of luck to you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please hit like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and maybe watch another one on my page. Bye bye.